Women are evil creatures disguised as beautiful beings. Their touch ignites passion, but also fuels pain. Their smiles hide deceit. Their tears fake sorrow. Once bitten, twice shy. My heart still bears the scar. A gold-digging ex had drained my trust, leaving only ashes of love. Never to trust women. But first, I have something to tell you. Hey everyone, I'm so excited to share that. I'll be posting episode-based stories here on MimiStories 256. Each tale will unfold in chapters, rich with emotion, twists and unforgettable characters. If you love stories that build over time and keep you coming back for more, you're in the right place. Let's journey together, one episode at a time. Let's start.
Sarah's point of view. How I ended up marrying the blind CEO. I was volunteering at the local children's playground, helping out with the afternoon activities. The sun was shining bright and the kids were laughing and playing tag. I was sitting on a bench watching them with a warm smile. That's when I saw him, a handsome man in an automatic wheelchair, riding towards the playground. He seemed completely oblivious to his surroundings, and my heart skipped a beat as I realized he was headed straight for the kids. Without hesitation, I jumped up and sprinted towards him. "Stop! Wait!" I called out, but he didn't seem to hear me. I reached him just in time, grabbing the joystick and turning the wheelchair sharply to the left. The man's head jerked up, his eyes wide with surprise and something else. Something almost like fear, but as he looked up at me, his expression changed. His eyes, though unfocused, seemed to soften, and his lips curved into a gentle smile. "Thank you," he said, his voice low and smooth. "I didn't see them." I smiled back, feeling a flutter in my chest. "It's okay. I'm just glad I was here to help." As I looked into his eyes, I realized he was blind. But despite his disability, he exuded confidence and strength. I found myself drawn to him, wanting to know more. The kids, who had been watching the scene unfold, began to gather around us. One little boy, curious as always, asked, "Excuse me, mister, what happened to your eyes?" The man chuckled and said, "I was born this way." The little boy looked surprised, then asked, "But how do you see?" The man smiled and said, "I see in my own way." I was amazed by his answer. Another kid asked, "Do you play games?" The man replied, "Yes, I do." The little boy then asked, "Can you play tag with us?" The man smiled and said, "I'd love to." I was surprised he agreed. The kids cheered and started to play. I watched amazed as he played with the kids. He was so good with them. After a while, the kids said goodbye to him and ran off. I turned to him and said, "You're really good with kids." He smiled and said, "Thank you." I then asked, "Do you come here often?" He replied, "Yes, I do. I love this place." I smiled and said, "Me too. My name is Sarah, by the way." He smiled and said, "I'm Alexander." As we talked, I noticed a black silk car losing control heading straight for us.
Alexander's POV. I sat in my wheelchair, pretending to be blind as I watched my son play. His mother had no idea I was here, and I wanted to keep it that way. She was a gold digger, only after my money. I thought she loved me once, but I was wrong. She got pregnant on purpose, hoping for a bigger payday. When she threatened to abort the baby, I gave her even more money to keep it. Now I only saw my son in secret, not wanting his mother to know. As I watched him laugh and play, a woman appeared beside me. She was kind and gentle with the children, and her beauty took my breath away. But I knew more than anyone else not to trust these women. She can do everything just to get in your good books, and after she archives her goal, you will never know where that sweet angel has gone. I know this. After all, I have experienced it before. But then the car lost control. I looked at my son. She was near her, but a little bit far away from me. By the time I stand up from this wheelchair, he would be already gone. My heart shattered. Why is this happening? Can't see my son normally, and now he will be taken away from me. I lost all senses.
Sarah's point of view. As I saw the slick cat approaching, my heart skipped a beat as I saw the terrified expressions of the children around us. The car was picking up speed, and I knew I had to act fast. But what could I do? The blind man was helpless, and the children were frozen in fear. I quickly grabbed the kid who was near me and placed him on the blind man's lap. Others will be fine, but this one was exactly in the car's directory. I then pushed the wheelchair away from the car's path. But I was still in harm's way, and I knew it. I closed my eyes, bracing for impact. But just as suddenly as it had appeared, another car came out of nowhere and parked itself in front of me. The black car collided with it, the sound of crushing metal and shattering glass filling the air. I opened my eyes to see the blind man and the child he was holding were safe. The other kids who were farther away were also okay. I was shaking with fear but also relief. The driver of the car that saved me got out. He looked at me and asked, "Are you okay?" I nodded, still in shock.
Alexander, as I held my son tight, I watched her come back to her senses. She had saved us without hesitation, without caring for her own life. In that moment, I fell deeply in love with her selflessness. I thought to myself, I don't care whether she will love my money more than me. The fact that she still has humanity in her is enough. Kind people deserve to take it all. I would give her everything, my heart, my money, my world, because she had shown me that kindness still exists, and I wanted to spend the rest of my life making her happy. My son looked up at me and said, "Daddy, is she an angel?" I smiled and said, "Yes, son, she is." I turned to her and asked, "Are you married or have a boyfriend?" She looked surprised by my question, but replied, "We broke up, actually. That's why I'm here. We met here, and I came to finalize things." I nodded slowly, understanding. Then I said, "We both are broken-hearted. Why don't we get married?" She looked taken aback, her eyes wide with shock. She even took a step back and said, "No." I expected that reaction, so I wasn't surprised. But then I told her my story, about my gold-digging ex and my son. I told her about my trust issues and my fear of love. She listened intently, her expression softening. When I finished, she looked at me with newfound understanding. Then she said, "I'll marry you, but only if you promise to never hurt me. And don't expect much from me." I smiled and said, "I promise." I knew she will be different. She is kind. She was still human. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. I have something to tell you. Hey everyone, I'm so excited to share that. I'll be posting episode-based stories here on MimiStories 256. Each tale will unfold in chapters, rich with emotion, twists and unforgettable characters. If you love stories that build over time and keep you coming back for more, you're in the right place. Let's journey together, one episode at a time. If my story moved you, to even just a little, do me a small favor. Leave a comment. Give it a heart. Like it if it spoke to you. And if you want to walk deeper into this journey with me, come watch my videos on YouTube. Your views, your support, your presence, it means more than you know.